All right, so my ring light is no longer working, and so hurts my feelings a little bit. But also too, like for some reason, backlight is like super bright. I don't know why. Did the ring light have that much effect? My goodness. Anyway, obviously it did. This is Oriental Beauty. I have a couple more of these left. I'm not gonna be able to focus on that. But anyway, it's the bag it came in. Tea from Taiwan. I love these things because they're vacuum sealed, and when you cut it open, just the aroma, you know. So yeah, so Oriental Beauty for me, this is my black tea since I don't particularly care for the Chinese black teas. The Dia Hongs are really good when they're like malty and chocolatey and stuff like that. But I already have something similar, which is an autumn flush Darjeeling. So I didn't really feel the need to get a Dia Hong. So Oriental Beauty is my black tea, and that will give me like, you know, my favorite tea in each genre of tea is the idea here. So I think for Oriental Beauty, what I'm going to end up doing is just kind of figuring out what my favorite season is. So I got spring, summer, and winter, and so far, I think summer is my favorite. I'm trying to talk in and get some aroma on this thing, and I really can't do it. Sweet, you know, Oriental Beauty, sweet. The cold brew is fairly green, and that always shocks me when I cold brew these Oriental Beauties because the hot brew does not brew green ever, but the cold brew is always pretty green. I think I did have one actually that was maybe a winter. Yeah, it was a winter Oriental Beauty, and that one was cold brew, and it came out sort of brownish. But I guess the spring and the summer are usually green. So again, who knows? I think I may. I don't know what I'm gonna end up doing. And I can't really recall any Oriental Beauties that really stand out in my mind as ones that I really enjoyed. I mean, I like all of them, honestly. Um, there may have been a few that I had something bad to say about, and to my recollection, I think that was the winter oolongs. But we'll see. So pretty color again, really green, like a almost a neon green. It's really interesting. The other thing I think I ought to mention is the roast level. Oriental Beauties are usually, or Taiwanese oolongs anyway, are just roasted usually to some degree, either not roasted, roasted lightly, roasted medium, roasted dark. And so this one tastes like it has a little bit of roast on it, but very light roast. And in the overall, very light brew as well. Really, as far as I'm concerned, it's lacking. Um, Not really a fan. And so I'm coming to the end of this, and I think what may be happening here is I think spring may be more bold, summer maybe is a bit weaker, and then winter I think can maybe go either way because like I said, I remember having a winter oolong while hiking, and that tea was beautiful. I enjoyed it very much. Um, but I recall having a winter oolong while just hanging out at home like now, and I didn't like it very much. And again, I could be misremembering, you know? So that's why I'm making these videos so I can go back and watch. Mm. But yeah, not bad. Green grape sweetness, which is typical of most Oriental beauties, is very sweet. Lightly roasted flavor rather. But yeah, just a really, really light brew. And I'm using 7 grams in something like 16 ounces, maybe 18 ounces of water. So, I mean, all right. And then this is the boba. And so I did not make any boba, the tapioca pearls. I didn't make any of that tonight. I just, did this real quick. I cooked the oolong on the stove, cooked it really hard, and then added some milk until I was happy with the color. And so that's what I got. And you cannot tell because the lighting is horrible. And then I added just a dollop of condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk. Yeah. Again, really light. Not bad, but very, very light. I mean, you're tasting boba, but I'm looking for something that's strong, something that's strong and dark. And so I think it is I really think it's going to be maybe those winter or spring oolongs that do that. All right, so it's a 25 gram sample. I did 7 in the cold brew, 7 for the boba, and so I should have a little more than 7 grams left for the hot brew, which is going to be more than enough. But I'm going to really enjoy drinking through this. Usually it lasts me a couple days. This one is going to last much longer. I'm afraid that the tea is going to come out of the bowl here after I wet it. Look at all that. It's a lot of material. But yeah, the rum is fairly light too. Now this is a 2021 picking. I purchased in 2022. And so part of me wonders whether or not, I don't have any hot water, whether or not there is a difference in almost a year of having this tea vacuum sealed. I don't know. I do plan on doing something of an experiment with that, with a couple teas that I have, to see if there's a difference between like fresh versus having it sitting around for a year or two. I've always heard that there is a difference, but man, it smells really good. It's like just green grape, but there's also that toasted note that's there as well. I really like that. Definitely gonna have this with dinner. Looking forward to that. It's good. It's like I say, it's a really light brew, but it's not like drinking milk either. You know what I mean? Like there's something there for sure. It's just not very bold. Very light green, but almost has a neon thing to it. It's very bright. The other one that I have in here, because I think I just really have like only 2 or 3 left. One of these is aged, and so I'm sure, yeah, this is a winter 2017. So I'm sure I did that on purpose just to see if maybe there will be a difference. Yeah, everything else is 21 in aged versus. And I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone talk about aging in oolong. I mean, can definitely be done, right? Because it's not completely black tea. So yeah, just curious. And then, talk about storage. Stored in Taiwan, which is fairly humid. It's further south than Yunnan, that's for sure. So yeah, so I'm interested, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And I must have had another aged oolong in that sample as well, and I just don't recall. It's been a while. So yeah, so I have 3 more left to go through, and then I'll be making a decision. One is a summer, one is a winter, and the other is the winter 2017. Oh, I want to keep drinking this boba, but I want to save it for dinner. Man, it smells so good. Oh, love these Oriental beauties. And it's really pretty too. I know you can't see. It's freaking. So I've had this ring light for like a year now, and it finally went out today. Like it flickered on and then flickered off. And I sat here and just pressed the button like 5 times. And so, yeah, not gonna buy another one right away, but I really like this ring light, so I'm definitely gonna buy another one. They're really cheap. Just in the process of moving. And you know what else I did not do? I did not bring cold water to cool this. And it's been so long since I'm gonna use a lot of water just to rinse this. There's so much material in here. It's been so long since I've had an Oriental Beauty. I don't remember if there's a huge difference in water temperature. I have to imagine there is. Look at that. No, you can't see. But yeah, it's really dark brown. And there's a little bit of green in there. Just enough to make it look pretty. Just to give it some character. Yeah, that's really pretty. Kind of red. Oh yeah, that's nice. Again, green grapes, toasted notes. And I know that comes from the roasting. But oh man, it smells so good. Okay. So, gonna hit this with really hot water. Based on the cold brew, I'm gonna go ahead and let this one steep for a minute because I seriously doubt I can overbrew this thing. So it's not as much as I thought, but there's got to be a little more than 7 grams in there though, and I think after a couple of infusions, it's probably just going to swell and swell. But right now, it's okay. I was really worried about it coming out of the pot. All right, 15 seconds. See what I get on the nose. Oh yeah, just so it's more of the kind of more of the sort of cocoa flavors coming off the nose. All right. Let's go ahead and pour this off. And yep, just as I expected, the brew is not anything close to being green, which, like I said, always surprises me with these oolongs. I mean, look at this. That's crazy. In water for 24 hours, hot water for a minute, you know? It's just, it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. But yeah, so not quite opaque, not quite see-through. Not much material in there. Obviously a little bit of activity. Let's see. Just what I thought. You can't really overbrew this thing. Now I'm not gonna push it much more than a minute because I don't want to surprise myself, you know. But I cooked it on the stove pretty good, and I did not taste the liquor. I immediately doused it with milk. But the color was not much darker than this when it came off the stove, though. Maybe a little darker, but not much darker. And all I'm getting right now is just the cocoa, which tastes really good, actually. It reminds me of Cocoa Puffs, the cereal. I mean, it tastes just like that, without the milk, of course. That's really good. I really wish that flavor came out more in the boba. You know, you can always talk about you know, ratios of milk to tea, and maybe if I used a lot less milk, maybe I get that. But we're talking 7 grams of tea to make, you know, 1 glass of boba. So yeah, I think it's still a fairly weak tea. Even though right now it's packing a nice punch, you know. No bitterness at all. No hint of a green leaf at all. This is drinking cocoa, but not Dia Hong, you know, type of, you know, coffee, chocolate type of thing. No, this is, you know, Cocoa Puff cereal. So a light cocoa and sugar. There you go. Yeah, light cocoa and sugar. Okay, I'm gonna get some cold water and see what happens with this thing. All right, and get the temperature. That's too much water. Do I have something to pour it in? I do not. Oh, I do actually. I can pour it off on this thing. I'm not gonna use it. I always misjudge how much cold water I need because it's like you just put it in for a second. There you go. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, 127 is perfect. All right. So yeah, Cocoa Puff cereal. So cocoa flavored and definitely sweet like sugar. Not like a dark chocolate or anything. I'm going to really enjoy going through that. All right, now let's see what happens with cooler temps. And I don't know what I want to do with steep time. Let's try this one less time. Let's go 30 seconds. Let's just see what happens. See if I'm able to pull out any other flavor notes other than just that cocoa. I have a feeling that the really hot water just, really brings out that cocoa. And I didn't necessarily get that from the cold brew. Let's see. Yeah, the cold brew is much more in the green grape realm. Uh-oh, I'm going a little past 30 seconds. Let's get this poured off. Okay. It's a lot of water because it's a lot of material. Oh, it smells so sweet. Oh, can't see it. Damn ring light. But yeah, you can start to see some of the green leaves in here. And it's just beautiful. Just beautiful bouquet of tea. And for me, that means something too, because it's an entire experience. It's the taste, it's the smell, it's the sight, it's everything. Hmm. Okay. So, yeah, cooler temperature. Some of that green grape sweetness is definitely there. It's really more floral than it is fruity, I think. But the sweetness is definitely there, no question. Um, and there's still that roasted, toasted note, but it's moved far away from Cocoa Puffs, like far away. Me personally, I prefer this thing brewed really hard because now this is what we're gonna do now. Cooler temps, and I'm gonna brew it. Gonna brew it. Let's go. Uh oh, never stopped it. Okay, and let's go like a minute with cooler temps. Let's see what happens. Because the thing is that the sweeter, lighter notes are coming out with cooler temps, but it's still like a weak brew. And so I'm curious to see what happens if I that read 92. Wow. I'm curious to see what happens if I do cooler temps, longer steep time. So I bought this thing on on Temu, and I kind of wrote it off right away because, see, you don't know if you can see, but there you go, there's a filter um, in there, and I thought to myself, I was like, well, I don't want to just pour water over my tea and then have it like go straight through the filter, kind of like pour over coffee, you know? I don't want that. And so I kind of just rolled it off. But now that I'm like kind of using it for the first time, I can see that that's not what happens at all. Like the tea actually stays there. So that's kind of cool. So I may keep this after all. And then I guess you just leave it there until you're ready to let the water out. Oh no. Because I can manually tilt it to drain the water. So maybe that's how it's supposed to work. Oh yeah. Green grape sweetness. It's there. And I think that's just what's going to continue to happen after steep after steep after steep. It's just going to get sweeter and sweeter. Can't wait till tomorrow after the leaves have had some time to really dry out. All right, here we go. Yep, same thing. And you know, I think I left it longer than just a minute and a half. It's weak. It's really weak. Yeah, but definitely sweet though. Nothing but green grape. There is no hint of cocoa at all at cooler temps. And maybe there's a balance in between what you get out of a cold brew versus a hot brew, right? So maybe if you did, 130-degree Fahrenheit for, I don't know, 10 minutes or something, maybe it's possible to get a strong, sweet brew out of this. Maybe. I don't know, but the cold brew is weak. The hot brew is good, but you lose all the sweetness if you use really hot water. So I don't know. Not my favorite, but I'm definitely going to enjoy hitting this tea really, really hard with some boiling water over the next, hopefully, day or so. And the boba that I made with it is not bad. It's not the best boba ever, but it's not bad. And then the cold brew is like drinking water. So I'll drink through that tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, one good thing has happened. I lost a ring light, but this thing, see if I can get it to work. Huh. There we go. Look at that. There you go. Wow. So you just tilt it, and then it all comes down here, and because there's a filter, the tea stays there. That's actually not bad. It's really not that bad. And then you can unscrew this and drink it like that. I'm gonna drink a little bit of this. Yeah, still super weak. not, not really a fan. Yeah, not horrible. Okay, well, I can't say, horrible things about Temu. Um, but yeah, thing was like maybe $1 or something. All right, from me to you.